The United States Park Police officers who fatally shot a 25-year-old Virginia man last fall after a minor car collision and a brief chase fired at him at least 9 times at close range. A video released on Wednesday shows the man, Bijan Gazar, died on November 27, 10 days after he was shot 4 times on the left side of his head, and once in his right wrist, one of his family's lawyers said in a telephone interview on Wednesday. Video of the shooting, which revealed new information about the closely watched case, was released by Edwin C. Roessler, Jr., the chief of the Fairfax County Police Department. Fairfax County officers provided backup during the Park Police pursuit of Mr. Gazar, but according to the chief, they did not discharge their weapons. In a statement, Chief Roessler justified the release of the in-car video by calling it a matter of transparency to all in our community, especially the Gazar family. The video does not provide all the answers, he said. However, we should all have confidence in the F.B.I.'s investigation of this matter, as I know it will be thorough, objective, and professional. The Department of the Interior's traffic crash report, a copy of which was obtained by the New York Times, says the episode began on November 17 at 7:31 p.m. According to the report, Mr. Gazar was driving south on George Washington Memorial Parkway, a federal road, in a green Jeep when he abruptly stopped in the roadway. The car behind Mr. Gazar then rear-ended him, according to the report, and Mr. Gazar drove away. The driver who struck Mr. Gazar's Jeep got a citation for failing to maintain proper control, according to the police report, which did not classify the episode as a hit-and-run. It was not entirely clear why the Park Police sought Mr. Gazar, given that they cited the other driver. The video captured by the Fairfax County Police begins about 6 minutes later, at 7:37 p.m. It appears to show the Jeep being pursued by a Park Police car, its lights flashing and sirens blaring. A Fairfax County police officer follows behind. Soon, the Park Police vehicle catches up to the Jeep, and after the Jeep stops, the police vehicle pulls up alongside it. An officer gets out of the passenger side door and appears to point a gun at the Jeep's driver's side window and tug at the door. The Jeep, though, pulls away, and the officer bangs on the window as Mr. Gazar flees. The Fairfax County police officer gives chase, its in-car camera still recording until the Park Police vehicle catches up. All 3 vehicles then exit the parkway and stop. The video then appears to show 2 Park Police officers approaching the Jeep's driver's side door. At least one of the officers appears to have his gun drawn. The officer kicks the door as the Jeep, once again, drives away. The chase continues along several residential streets. At 7:41 p.m., the Jeep stops at a stop sign, and the Park Police vehicle wheels around in front of it, effectively blocking it. The video then appears to show one officer approach the Jeep's driver's side door, with a gun drawn and pointed toward the Jeep door's window. The Jeep moves slightly forward, then one gunshot rings out. After a brief pause, 3 more shots are fired as the car continues to lurch forward. Another officer then approaches, and the sound of a 5th gunshot can be heard on the video. After having come to a stop during the gunfire, the Jeep veers to the right a few feet toward the stop sign and off the road. 2 more gunshots can be heard on the video. A 3rd officer in a different uniform then appears on screen with a gun drawn. The Jeep then lurches a few feet farther off the road and into a ditch, knocking over the stop sign as it begins listing. 2 more gunshots can be heard. In a statement on Wednesday, lawyers for the Gazar family called the video disturbing and said it showed a senseless killing. The lawyers, Roy L. Austin Jr. and Thomas Connolly, also said the family was grateful to Chief Roessler for all he has done to ensure the appropriate amount of transparency throughout this process. Bijan Gazar was repeatedly threatened by over-aggressive and out-of-control law enforcement officers, after he drove away from a minor traffic incident in which he was the victim and in which there was little property damage and no known injuries, the lawyers said in the statement. Mr. Gazar was a college graduate who had been working as an accountant, Mr. Austin said in a phone interview on Wednesday night. Asked to explain why Mr. Gazar had repeatedly fled when police officers attempted to stop him, Mr. Austin said that his behavior is what a lot of people would do when they feel like they're threatened. I think it's fair to say he was finding a more populated, better lit space to go to based on the behavior of the officers, he said. Although the FBI is leading the inquiry, Robert D. McLean, the chief of the United States Park Police, said in a statement that he recognized that there is a desire for more information and details about it. The statement said the chief had met with the Gazar family in the days after the shooting and pledged a fair and impartial investigation. The park police did not appear to have released any identifying information about the officers involved in the shooting. They remain on administrative leave, a park police sergeant told the Washington Post. Public and community trust remain paramount to our agency and profession, Chief McLean said in the statement. In an email late Wednesday, a spokeswoman for the F.B.I.'s Washington field office said the agency was unable to provide additional information because the investigation was continuing.